YouTube, yo, whoa, hold on, we gotta talk. SNK gave me early access to Kenshiro, and this is not what I thought he would be. I did not expect Kenshiro to be like this. What I found in my time messing with Kenshiro is very intriguing, to say the least, right? So what we're gonna cover in this video is my top 3 discoveries for Kenshiro in City of the Wolves, and we'll do a quick kit breakdown so we kind of understand what he does, and I'll leave you guys with my personal opinion on where he sits in the competitive sphere of the game, and aka his tier placement. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Otherwise, you're already dead. Look, I know it was corny, okay, but I had to do at least one Hokuto no Ken joke before. Let's just go. Yeah, let's just go. All right, so first off, let's get into the top 3 discoveries. And for my first discovery, Kenshiro actually has 2 fireball reflectors. Yes, 2. Initially, I thought to myself, why do you need these? And then the more I kind of looked into his kit, it was like, oh, it makes sense. So he has one where you can throw it back at you and one where he backflips. Both of these offer different utilities at different ranges for why you want to go for each one. So that's it on discovery number 1. So for discovery number 2, Kenshiro actually brought a mechanic from the series into the Fatal Fury. And we'll keep it simple and we'll call it Shock State. What this mechanic does is it allows for Kenshiro to extend his combos in different ways. What it entails is once you hit your opponent with like a Rev Blow or any of your EX moves or Rev Arts, if you will, it can initiate the Shock State, which opens up different combo routings and different pathings for how you want to hit your opponent and dish out your damage. And that in turn actually leads me to discovery number 3, which is exactly that. Kenshiro's combo structure is not like anyone else in the game because of the Shock State mechanic. So for example, if you happen to hit them with any Rev Art, right, what ends up happening is if you use your Rev Blow, it makes them wall bounce anywhere on the screen, which opens up different combo pathings, different Okizeme situations or mix-up situations, making Kenshiro a really unique character. And like, he's like the only other character that can do this. Normally other Rev Blows will just, you know, knock and slide them across the screen. If you have the Shock State applied, you'll get the wall bounce. It really changes his combos, and I won't get too deep into it here, but know that it does change a lot of how you play Kenshiro and when you hit your opponent. Alright, so we'll do a quick kit breakdown here, right? So the most notable things about Kenshiro's kit, as I mentioned before, he does have reflectors that are really neat, that allow him to kind of like deal with, you know, the zoners or the characters who have, you know, really strong projectiles. Additionally, Kenshiro has basically a command dash, and this move to me, when I first saw it, I was like, yo, this animation is sick. It helps that you can actually cross up with it and mix up your opponent, and with the Rev version, you already know what comes up from that. You know, you're able to do mix-ups, add damage to that cross up, and it just, man, it really makes for a unique time of playing Kenshiro, because it's going to make them have to guess left or right when he does his command dash. It's also a breakable move if you're further away, but if you're close, he'll still just initiate it. But it's really sick, trust me, you guys. Additionally, Kenshiro has an aerial barrage, which was not what I was expecting at all. And when you combine it with his other special moves when doing combos, it's like, whoa, he gets to do this? So you guys kind of see where I'm going with this. When he's able to kind of get it going, like his damage output is really high, on top of him being able to do the aerial barrage and choose where he wants to go, because his DP puts you in a position where he can side switch. Like, it's, I don't know, it's really cool to see what they did with him in terms of this right here. The last thing I'll note is that his Dragon Punch, as I just mentioned, is not just your regular Dragon Punch. It's an uppercut to a Dragon Kick. This allows you to side switch at any given point in time in your combos, which really makes it so that if you're ever cornered, you are no longer cornered. If you want to corner your opponent, you can do such. And he has other combos as well that keep you not from side swapping, which is really nice too. So it's just, Kenshiro has a lot of combo variety, so it makes for a more fun and unique time while playing Kenshiro in City of the Wolves. Now, real quick here on my quick kit breakdown, I do want to show this last thing here for you guys. This is the combo route I think everyone will most likely default to when it comes out. And this should be your pretty much day 1 BNB when you want to just dish out maximum damage. So I'll leave that here for you guys to check it out. Alright, so we're here at Avengers Endgame. My honest verdict about Kenshiro. How do I personally feel about Kenshiro, right? So I think out the gate, Kenshiro's normals were a lot better than I personally expected. I wasn't expecting his far D to be such a strong poke in the neutral game while playing footsies that I was like, whoa, this button is something, right? Especially since he's a run character, it definitely makes him pretty scary with how you use that normal and how you can whiff punish for a wild punish and just do lots of damage, right? Now that aside, I do think there are some things about Kenshiro that actually might frustrate people. And I think in particular what that is that managing his shock state for his combos might be a bit much starting out, right? It's definitely tricky and it can definitely throw you off. Trust me, it took me a little while to really understand how it works and how to go in between it, because a lot of the times in the combos, you're applying shock state and you're using shock state. You're applying shock state and you're using the shock state. So you have to kind of know when to start and stop to dish out your damage for him. So I think that will be maybe like a day one to, I even give it maybe a week, give or take, from playing Kenshiro. You might need time to really get that down, right? So you're probably wondering, well, based on this frustration and whatnot, who is Kenshiro actually for, right? I do think he's for players who want a bit more of a technical character. His shock state mechanic really makes him unique in a way where your decision making for your combos is really important. As you play him, you'll learn where you need to side swap, where you need to corner push, where you need to wall bounce to set up mix-ups. So I think he's definitely for those kinds of players who want way more out of their character, right? And the last thing I want to say about him here, my honest opinion, is where I think he's going to stand on the tier list. I personally feel Kenshiro is pretty much an A+, but like I feel like they click with him overall and he has everything he needs to win. I think being equipped with the ability to wall bounce anywhere on the screen, side swap it at any given point in time, really makes for a unique character. However, one of the things that's very important about strong characters in general in fighting games is you want to make sure that like the character has a lot of strong options, B, really good corner push, and C, really strong mix-ups and potential. He does fall under all those categories for the most part, but I think his issue is that he's going to struggle with some of the top tiers of the current meta. Based on what I've tested, it seems like Billy might be a tough one, but that's a lot of characters currently in City of the Wolves, so having answers to Billy at this point in competitive City of the Wolves is very crucial for your success in tournament and even just playing ranked, right? So that's my little trepidation on him there, but that doesn't really mean that much in the grand scheme of things. It's just how I feel right now. That could change down the road. It's just my first impressions on where he lands in the tier list. So how'd these get here? Well, hey, you guys, I want to give a big shout out to SNK for allowing me early access to Kenshiro to bring this video straight to you guys. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about Kenshiro. And if you're like me and you're a Hokuto no Ken or a Fist of the North Star fan, you have any cool figures or memorabilia for Kenshiro, Rao, or any other character in the Fist of the North Star series that you have, let me know in the comments below. Let's fanboy out together. That sounded so bad, but you know what I'm trying to say. Let's have a good conversation about Fist of the North Star as fans and even fans of Fatal Fury, and talk to me. Let me know how you're feeling about the game right now. Just talk to me, let me know. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.